What's up, guys? It's Drifts and Loves here. All right, so today's episode, I got a short little one. I'm just gonna be filming this on my GoPro 9. I wanna use this video today, guys, to show off my wheel collection. So we're gonna go over like all the wheels that I own, and then we're gonna show off my new set that I just picked up. And also, you'll notice the title of the video is one thing to do, or something like that, one thing to do when buying used sets of wheels off Marketplace and Craigslist like that. So I got these last night, and it was a bit of a mess around getting them. And I want to help you guys maybe, prevent that from happening to you. So let's get into it. Actually, also, guys, I want to mention I'm going to be showing off the new track bars. I'll show you those really quick for the truck. And then we'll also show you the blown turbo on the wagon, how blown it is. So anyways, guys, this is my wheel collection. I've had most of these wheels for quite a while now. And these are some of my favorite wheels that I've ever actually came across. So let's start with the Trans Am GTAs. These are definitely some of the coolest wheels ever that ever came on a factory car, in my opinion. They are 16 by 8 and they are staggered. So it's actually funny because the Trans Ams, the wider wheels with lower offset were on the front and the skinnier ones were on the back. But obviously when we run them on a Volvo, we swap those around. These are 16 by 8. These ones are 0 offset, and these ones are plus 16, I believe. So really good looking wheel. I actually have another set on the wagon right now. So they actually, they fit really nicely. I think this is like the perfect kind of offset for a Volvo 740, a 0 offset. I guess these are the 16s in the front, but having the extended lower control arms is going to change that a little bit too, make them a bit wider. So as far as, bringing it right out to the fenders and having it fill out your wheel well, I think 0 offset is like the perfect setup on a 740, as long as you're combining it with a 32 millimeter adapter spacer, which obviously is not going to make the offset 0 anymore. It's going to be like way in the negatives, but that's usually my favorite. So you'll also notice most of my wheels that I run are like really close to that offset and width. So these are really dope. They're really lightweight, and it's also cool because on the back of them, it says this was on a Trans Am factory, but it says Japan. And I think these wheels were made by like ARE or some other company. But yeah, so as you can see, it's a really high quality wheel. It's all aluminum, and this one actually got some, I just noticed I got a little bit of damage. It's almost like someone mounted these on the front when they were supposed to be on the back, or vice versa. So it looks like the brake caliper rubbed on them, but not a huge deal. Anyway, so I want to keep one set of these Trans Am wheels like my whole life because I really, really like them. And as the days go by, they're getting harder and harder to find. So I think I'm going to keep this set. If somebody wants to buy these ones, they can. 600 bucks. Let me know in the comments. So well, that brings us to this set of wheels. We'll talk about this one. This is probably my favorite set of wheels I've ever bought off Craigslist. Center lines, these are, I'm not sure the style or like the, what code they are or whatever. But all I can say is they're center lines and they're full aluminum, 15 by 8. So I personally like 15s a little bit more than 16s. Most of the cars that I've ever had look really good on 15-inch wheels. Just a little bit of low offset and the right tire choice, and they look awesome. So these are a 15 by 8, 0 offset, and I actually got these for 150 bucks for 5 of them back in the day. The guy marketed them as like Jeep wheels, and I was like, those are not Jeep wheels, those look so cool. So I went out, and they're proper stepped lip design. I really like just kind of, they almost look like a little bit like a work Euro line, but not quite. Yeah, it's tough to say, but so I'm planning on keeping these wheels for a long time, never gonna get rid of them. I already did damage one from drifting. That was at the track event. So I'm leaving it on here. It's already damaged. I'm gonna keep running it. Still holds air and that kind of thing. So let's go to our Corvette wheels. So these are a C4 Corvette wheel, or C3, C4, I believe. And they would have came in a staggered setup. So these are the rears, I believe, and this is a 9.5-inch wheel. Now the offset, I think, is like plus 35 or plus 45. So it's pretty high. So to make up for that, you got to run, obviously a spacer. Just to let you know, I only run spacers on Volvos, guys, because Volvo bolt pattern, as most of you know, is 5x108, which no cool wheels ever came in 5x108. It seems like everything is in 5x120 or 5x114, which is also 5x4.5 or 4.75. So yeah, cool wheels, a little bit heavy for my liking. I don't really like how heavy they are. They're a beefy wheel. You're not gonna bend these very easy, that's for sure. These wheels are insanely light, all aluminum, stupid light. They weigh nothing basically. So, all right guys, let's bring us to this set of wheels. So these are the Bassets, and actually you can buy these brand new on like Summit Racing and a couple other websites. Really cheap actually. They're like 75 bucks, 50 bucks a wheel, American I think. I've had these for a long time now. I actually sold them to a kid just recently. He's coming to pick them up in a few days. So it's really cool because you can actually order them in whatever offset and size you want. For the most part, like obviously there's a selection. So I ordered these brand new, and they were a 15x8, -25 offset, so pretty savage low offset. And yeah, they're a steel wheel, not aluminum, so a little bit heavier than these ones. But you know, you run them with the adapter spacer, and these ones were wide, super wide, almost a bit too wide for my liking. Especially if you're going to be running extended lower control arms, that's going to bring your track width out another, 15, 25 millimeter, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's cool. Like I said, I have 5 of these wheels, so these center lines, so we got one more sitting over there. All right guys, so let's bring us to the kind of the main topic of this video. So this is the set of wheels I got last night, guys, and I was really stoked because the guy said he had a lot of messages. So the reason why this was a bit of a mess around was, and the whole point of this video is basically when you're looking for used wheels online, okay? So people are putting up ads on Craigslist and Marketplace and that kind of thing. These wheels, a lot of people do not know how to measure them, and that just goes for any wheel in general. So this guy had them marketed as a 16x8 inch, so 16x8, which would have been basically the same as these wheels. And he said that it's a 5x114 bolt pattern. So as you guys could, the guy had them up for 450 Canadian dollars, and as you could tell, he was probably getting absolutely bombarded by messages, because if they're 16x8 and 5x114, that basically everybody's going to want to run them. 5x114 is a super common bolt pattern, and 16x8 looks good on a lot of cars. A lot of guys don't want to run 15s because they're a little bit too small for them and that kind of thing. But so I got there, and I was willing to pay $450 for these wheels if they were 16x8, 5x114, because look at them, they're brand new, really sick wheels. I'll tell you guys like the brand and that kind of thing after in a sec here. But so I got there, and they're actually 15x7s, and they're 5x120. So funny thing was, a lot of people do not know how to measure bolt patterns. So when you're talking to someone online, the one thing you should always do, you should ask them and almost make sure they know how to measure bolt pattern and how to measure a wheel, because people think that you just measure from lip to lip, and that actually would have been pretty much 16 inches. But when we're measuring a wheel, we're measuring by the tire size that we're going to be running on the wheel, and that would be measuring from bead to bead. So we're talking from the bead to bead where the tire is actually going to mount on. So this wheel, it would have been maybe just almost a 16 if you measured from here to here, but if you're measuring from bead to bead, it makes it a 15-inch wheel. And also the same goes for the width, right? So people measure from all the way the outside to the outside, and that will get you roughly 8 inches. But this one, you're supposed to, like any wheel, you're supposed to measure from bead to bead. So this was a 15x7, and I got there, and also, sorry, I gotta mention this too, guys, the bolt pattern. The reason this guy had the bolt pattern wrong was because he was measuring from center to center, which is actually incorrect. When you're measuring a 5-bolt pattern, you're gonna wanna measure from the center to the outside of one lug. So you're actually measuring from the outside of this lug hole to the center of this one. So when I got there with the tape measure, and I actually explained to the guy they weren't what he said they were, and I drove like an hour to go look at these wheels. So luckily the guy was really nice, and he was willing to play ball with me, and he was willing to take $280 instead of the $450. So I felt I got a sick deal. Unfortunately, they weren't, what they were advertised as, but 15x7, 0 offset is still really dope. I think that's a really cool size. And I'm going to be running the spacers anyway, so they should still stick out fairly good. They're not going to quite be the offset like these wheels are, and you know, these wheels are. But they're gonna look really sick. And I've always been a fan of mix matching wheels. Like I'll run like, you know, these on the back and these on the front or something. So anyways guys, let's talk about the wheel though. So this is actually it's called let's see here. So it's an AME. It's actually made by American Racing, but it's like their Japanese division or something. I'm not really too sure. If you guys have more info on this, let me know in the comments. But it says made in Japan. So made in Japan right there. And it's an, ARE. That's the name of the wheel, ARE. And it is a true two-piece wheel. As you guys can see, you can literally unbolt this face. And I was actually thinking of doing that. I was thinking of maybe unbolting the face, flipping it around, and running it in the crazy offset way. I'm not too sure. Oopsies. Not too sure if that would work or not, but I was thinking of maybe trying it out. I think it'd be kind of cool to test out. Another thing, the faces are, they're removable, so you can actually remove the face and paint them properly without having to tape off like the lip and that kind of thing. But yeah, so these are, yeah, like I said, ARE style 328. So the fact that they're brand new and have never been ran or had tires mounted on them is interesting to me. I'm not too sure if you can buy these wheels brand new still or what the deal is. The guy said he bought them at a police auction. So the guy must have got them for stupid cheap, and who knows if they're old stock at some tire shop or something like that. But yeah, so I think I got a sick deal. Let me know in the comments what you guys' favorite wheels of mine are. I can't wait to get these on. I think they're gonna look really, really dope. So anyways guys, just to finish off the video, a little quick one for you. You guys check out these traction bars. So I bought some traction bars for the Cummins drift truck. And the reason I did that was because, you know, doing all the burnouts and hooning this truck like we were getting axle wrap. So that's when the pinion angle is actually twisting like that on the leaf springs. And when I was at the track, if you guys haven't seen the video of me drifting this truck, go check it out. It was one of our last videos. It was super, super epic video, and I feel like it hasn't got enough views yet. But yeah, the axle actually, I dirt dropped it really hard, and I was able to shift the axle a little bit on the leaf springs. So the truck started driving down the road all funny. I'm gonna get these traction bars on, and I got some really beefy Dom tubing. This shit's actually really heavy. It's a 250 wall, 2-inch tubing. And I got this really cool traction bar kit from Far From Stock store. So it's got like these threaded, it's got really beefy Heim joints. These will weld to the bottom of your axle, and then we'll weld the Dom tubing to those. I think it's gonna be really sick. It's gonna make the truck look really cool. When you look under there, there'll be these big long blue traction bars. It'll look pretty race truck. So anyways guys, one last couple thing before I end the video here. Stuff to come for the channel. So I got the wagon. You know, the wagon's been off the road for a little bit now. I took insurance off it, and the reason was I thought the turbo was blown. I didn't really look into it too much, but last night I was messing around, and if you look in here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but you'll notice that the it's really shaved down, and it looks like the compressor wheel was grinding on the compressor housing, which means the bearings in this turbo are definitely on their way out. I would almost say they're completely gone at this point. And we're gonna have to take this turbo off and get it rebuilt. So that'll be in the next little bit. I'm really trying to recuperate funds for everything. It's been really pricey. I'm trying to save up the funds for this project, for the Cummins build, as well as the NA build that we're supposed to be doing here. We are going to be starting that this week, guys. So we're actually gonna be starting to take this block apart, take our stroker crank out, assemble everything with our new NA built head, and that's gonna be fun. So like and subscribe for Volvo Beef. Peace out.